So with the Carnival LR banners now on Global Dokkan, we finally have all of the content for Part 2 of the 8th year anniversary, which means, of course, now we can start to shift our attention towards Part 3 of the 8th year anniversary, which, as I'm sure a lot of you probably know, will bring the EZA for the LR 5th year fusions. And these guys' EZA, they're insane, right? They're insanely broken. Both of them are top 10. Vegito is probably top 5 because Vegito is just a little bit better than Gogeta, but Gogeta is still really crazy. Again, both of them are extremely top tier units, and the best part of their EZA is a lot of people got them link leveled, a lot of people have them with dupes, so them being as good as they are and as accessible as they are, I mean, they're literally featured on the headlining 8th year anniversary banners right now. It's just a really crazy release, so definitely the highlight of the 8th year anniversary for me. I know a lot of people think the same. Don't get me wrong, 8th year anniversary was a great celebration, but I mean, these guys getting their EZA, it's been anticipated for a long time. And them being as crazy as they are, it's just, it overshadows everything, right? So I've been getting a couple comments here and there asking when they're going to release and just questions about their kit. So I figured I could dedicate a video to that, speculating on when they'll come out based off of the Part 3 EZAs for last year, and then just talking about their kit. So I guess just to get straight into when they'll probably release, here we've got the Part 3 EZA for the previous year's anniversary, so the physical Goku and Vegeta, and they EZA'd the 1st of August. So I doubt we'll get the EZA August 1st. I think it'll probably be a little bit sooner. So maybe the 31st or the 30th of July. But it's still definitely possible we'll see the EZAs August 1st or even August 2nd. But I would expect to see the EZAs either August 1st or 2 days before or 2 days after. So we're getting it very soon, right? It's basically like a week away, which again, very exciting because these guys are busted. So I guess just to start going over them, here we have the Vegito. Now between the two of them, Vegito is just a little bit better, because he has the potential to do more additional supers once you transform. But until you transform, they're basically the exact same, right? In their base state, they're doing the same thing. I guess the only real difference is their stats. But other than that, they're basically the same until they transform. So starting off with the Vegito's leader skill, it is final trump card or Patara, category Ki +3, HP and attack and defense plus 170%. I mean, definitely a good leader skill. I feel like they probably could have made this 180%, but I'll still take it. I mean, obviously for newer players, this will be very useful, so there is that. And then his super attack effect on his 12 key is that he's stacking attack and then raises defense for 1 turn and causes colossal damage to enemy. So stacking attack, obviously a good thing, makes it so his attack stats will get higher and higher. And especially if you build this guy full additionals, you get as many supers as you can before you transform. And then when you transform, obviously he's not stacking anymore. But then because you've stacked attack in his pre-transform state, this guy's just going to hit like an absolute nuke, right? So definitely really good there, especially getting the 30% defense on 12 key and then getting 50% defense on his 18 key. I mean, you know, his defense is going to be pretty good after he supers, even in base. So definitely really good super attack effects. And then this guy's passive is that he gets attack and defense plus 140%, 4 key, and then 100% defense when attacking. Again, just solidifying this guy is definitely a slot 2 option in his pre-transform state. And then he launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super as the 1st or 2nd attacker in a turn. And then he just guaranteed launches an additional super attack, and then has a great chance to evade enemies' attack, including super, as the 3rd attacker in a turn. So that's the good thing. Even if their defense isn't that high, I mean, you still have the great chance to dodge in slot 3. So obviously it makes it very convenient. And then of course they transform when conditions are met. And the conditions are extremely easy, just turn 4, right? So very easy to get. And then his links, I mean, they're good, right? I mean, it's a Vegito, so he's got a couple odd links. I mean, Fuse Fighter is good, but it's not really like amazing. Power Bestow by God isn't necessarily the best. Brainiacs isn't necessarily the best, but still having Sand Warrior Race, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power, Over in a Flash, all that definitely is good. And if you're running this guy with other Vegitos, I mean, obviously you're going to get these links because these are Vegito links, but unfortunately Vegito isn't the best in the game right now. Like, there's not many other top tier Vegitos, so not really the craziest link set as it stands. But for worldwide, if we get a crazy blue Vegito from Future Saga, I mean, of course, you'll have a lot of these same links, so then they'll link up very well. And then his categories, Realm of Gods, Patara, Future Saga, Transformation Boost, Time Travelers, Kamehameha, Final Trump Card, Battle of Wits, Time Limit, Accelerated Battle, Battle of Fate, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, Fuse Fighters, and then Superheroes. So a lot of really top tier teams. He's even helping some lower teams like Future Saga, Time Travelers, Battle of Wits, Time Limit. So definitely just a good addition, right? And then now, it's insanity, right? When you transform, it starts to get really crazy. So on both super attacks, he's now getting 50% defense, but on his 12 key, he's getting 50% attack and defense. And then on his 18 key, he's getting the 50% defense for 3 turns. So then obviously 50% of the defense is carrying over into the next turn, which is very good, right? And then his passive is that he evades enemies' attack for 1 turn after transformation. So obviously that's very crazy. It's similar to what the Int UI Goku has with his EZA. Obviously when you transform into MUI, you get the 1 turn of guaranteed dodge. And then because these guys have that, that's insane. So then when you transform with them, their defense isn't going to be insane the first turn you get them because they do build up. But then because they have that 1 turn of guaranteed dodge, I mean, it doesn't really matter what their defense is because they're not taking any damage, right? So definitely really useful there. And then he gets attack and defense plus 150%. He gets 5 ki, and then he launches an additional super attack and then has a medium chance of launching another additional super attack as the first or second attacker in a turn. He gets 7 ki, and then launches an additional super attack and has a great chance of evading enemies' attack, including super, as the third attacker in a turn. And then he builds up, so he gets 1 ki up to 5, attack and defense plus 22% up to 88% with each attack performed. And then he launches a guaranteed additional super attack when using the active skill or when ki is 24. So getting that guaranteed additional super attack at the end is going to be very easy because, again, not only is he building up ki right there, but you've got ki right here, you've got ki right here. So ki isn't going to be an issue. So most of the time you're going to be at 24 ki. So obviously that is very good. And then with his active skill, I mean, dude, this is going to be an absolute nuke too. But I mean, the active skill isn't even really like the most damaging part about this guy. It's going to be like the 6 supers he's doing, right? And then he's greatly raising attack on all of them too. So I mean, dude, this guy is something else, right? The amount of supers he's doing is insane. After he supers, he's going to be well over 1 million defense. And then he also has the dodge built into his kit. So, you know, you can make use out of that. So there's just so much with him. He's just insanely busted. But to go over the active skill, the effect greatly raises attack temporarily, causes ultimate damage. So it doesn't outright do anything, which I guess does kind of suck. I mean, you know, if there was like a guaranteed crit right here or support or something like that, that would definitely be very beneficial. But I don't really think it matters because he's still doing a lot of damage. So not really the biggest deal that there's no like, you know, extra damage in the active skill. And then the condition for the active skill is that it can be activated when facing only one enemy whose HP is 50% or less starting from the next attacking turn. So you can't use the active skill right when you transform. You have to wait a turn after you transform and then you can pop this if you're facing only one enemy whose HP is 50% or less. Not really the worst. I mean, most of the time you're still going to get this, but you are going to have to wait a minute. Like, you're going to have to wait till the enemy's HP is 50% or below. You got to wait a turn after you transform. So it's going to be a little later into the fight when you're using this. So that's why it's good to just like finish the enemy off or something like that. And then you get the insanely badass KO screen. So not the worst condition here. Definitely pretty solid. And then his links, I think, do change. So now he has Super Saiyan and Kamehameha instead of, what was it, Saiyan Warrior Race. And what else was it? Was it Brainiacs? Yeah, okay. So Saiyan Warrior Race and Brainiacs are replaced with Super Saiyan and Kamehameha. So I mean, I guess that's pretty good. 2 pretty common links as well. So obviously still a pretty solid link set. His categories remain the same too. So yeah, I mean, dude, this guy's just an absolute unit. Again, I'm kind of repeating myself at this point, but if you get the 6 supers off with him, if somehow by a miracle the enemy isn't dead, then you're going to have like well over 1 million defense. So you're tanking everything. And then also, you know, if you're scared you won't tank, you just throw him in slot 3. And then he has the 70% chance to dodge, and then he will. So yeah, just an insane unit. I mean, let's just go over the Gogeta now. I could literally sit here all day just breaking down everything in his kit because he's very good, right? So here we have the Gogeta. I think they have the exact same kit. Like literally word for word, everything is the same except for their leader skill and their pre-transform state. So the leader skill is just fusion instead of Patara. So that's pretty much it. I would say though, I think Gogeta has a better link set. But other than that, again, the exact same. But then when you do transform with the Gogeta, they do become very different. So their super attacks are the same, but then their passive are different. So the Gogeta evades enemies' attacks, including super, for the first turn after transformation. He gets 150% attack and defense. He gets 5 ki, and then now instead of having guaranteed additional super attacks, he just launches 2 additional attacks. Each have a medium chance of becoming a super. So, I mean, I would say what Vegito has is definitely better, but this is still good, right? It's like what Cooler has. I mean, you just have a bunch of additionals, and they all have the chance to become a super. The fact that he's still launching 2 additional attacks, though, is good, because then, of course, that helps proc your hidden potential system additional. So you still have a really good shot at doing, what, 4 supers in a turn. So obviously, that is very good, right? So still a lot of supers with this guy, and because the super attack effect for the Vegito and the Gogeta are the same, you know, you're getting so much defense on super, you're carrying some defense into the next turn, so it just, again, gets pretty crazy. So then, because, you know, the additionals weren't enough, this guy also has attacks effective against all types as the first or second attacker in a turn. He gets 7 ki, and then launches an additional super attack and has a great chance of evading enemies' attack, including super, as the third attacker in a turn. And then he also builds up the same as the Vegito, so he gets 1 ki up to 5, 22% attacking defense up to 88% with each attack performed, and then he gets a guaranteed crit when activating the active skill or when ki is 24. So it looks like this guy's going to be a little bit more focused on like his first attack and not as much on additionals. He still has additionals built in, but with the crit, with the super effective against all types, you know, his first attack is going to be really damaging. And then, of course, if you get lucky, you know, you'll get an additional or two. But unlike Vegito, you know, most of the damage isn't in his additionals. I would say it's with his first attack. So still very good. I mean, obviously getting a guaranteed crit when ki is 24 is still extremely easy for the same reasons as getting the additional super is easy for Vegito, because there's just so much ki built into their kit, right? You got some here, you got some here. So it's going to be extremely easy to get to 24 ki with him. And then their active skill, I think, is the exact same as well. I know the effect is the same. And then, yeah, the condition is the same. So same thing I said with the Vegito applies for the Gogeta. Pretty good, but, I mean, you'll get it a little later into the fight. And then his link set, I would say is a little bit better than Vegito's as well, because Warrior Gods, I would say, is really the only, not bad link, but link you're not really going to have activated as much because there's not as many top tier units with this link. But still, there are a couple I can think of off the top of my head. You know, you've got LR Gods. You've got this guy right here who's really crazy with his EZA. You've got the AGL Gogeta Blue. So definitely still a lot of really top tier options. You've got the Kaioken Goku as well. So yeah, I would say his link set is definitely better than the Vegito's. But that's not to say Vegito's link set is bad. It's just not as many good units have these links. So unfortunately, it doesn't really work out. But yeah, I mean, Gogeta is just really crazy. Both of them are really crazy. I guess we can call the video at that. Again, I don't want to sit here talking about them all day. I just want to go over what they do just so you guys are aware of what to expect with their EZAs, literally, because this is the exact kit they're going to have. So yeah, that has been the video. Let me know which one of these guys you are looking forward to more. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.